Mrs. Knudsen and I are going to show you guys how to uh, convert labels to different types of labels. And you'll need to know how to do this when we do VT diagrams tomorrow during class. So what we're going to do is do 15 meters per second. And we're going to convert it to miles per hour. We're going to convert it to kilometers per hour. To do this, we're going to set it up into a label table is what I call it. And the label table goes something like this. You draw one line, okay, and this line stands for like a division line, because if you have a meter per second, the word per tells you that it's a division, which means it's a certain number of meters divided by a certain number of seconds. So when we write this, we're going to write 15 meters on the top line, okay, and then 1 second on the bottom line. And because it's a 1, I'm just going to put an S. Okay, and then now we're going to do our converting.
So this is kind of like those conversion bridges that we do with Mrs. V and that we worked in the beginning of the year a little bit.
Exactly like what Mrs. V does in her chemistry class. And the reason you use these is because you got so many labels going on, you want to make sure that the label that you end with is what you wanted. And now that we have this 15 meters per second, we can go about converting it to kilometers per hour. So, Mrs. Knudsen, how many meters are in a kilometer?
In 1 kilometer, there are 1,000 meters.
1,000 meters, okay? So if you want to cancel a meter and it's on top, you have to put the meter on bottom to cancel it out. So we're going to put our 1,000 meters on bottom and our 1 kilometer on top. Excuse my handwriting.
Yours actually looks a heck of a lot better than mine usually does.
It smells good.
Okay, so now when we're looking at this, we can see that, okay, this meter right here is going to cancel with this meter right here. Alright, now we have to convert the seconds into hours. And to do this, we have to know how many seconds are in a minute.
There are 60 seconds in 1 minute.
60 seconds in 1 minute, okay? So let's go ahead and write down 60 seconds in 1 minute. Okay, so now we can see that the seconds here will cancel, so we can cancel the seconds.
Okay, so now my units would be kilometers per minute.
Yes, kilometers per minute, and we want it to be kilometers per hour.
Per hour, okay? So now I need to do this one more time.
One more time.
I'm going to put my minutes on top.
Okay, minutes on top.
And then I need hours on the bottom because I'm trying to get into hours. So let me think. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So I'd put 60 in front of the minutes.
60 in front of the minutes.
So can I write William on there?
And
1 hour on the bottom.
1 hour on the bottom.
My units cancel.
Units cancel.
Kilometers per hour. Look at that.
Kilometers per hour. Okay?
Now how do I... My labels are good. My units are good. But now how do I get the number thing?
So what you want to do when you multiply these is you take the 15 times the 60 times the 60, and then you divide 1,000, and then you divide 1, and you divide 1. So you want to multiply everything on top and divide by everything on the bottom. And that'll give you your answer. So when I type it in my calculator, I hit 15 times 60 times 60, and then I divide 1,000, divide 1, and divide 1. And I end up with 54 kilometers per hour. And that's the answer.
Very good.
Okay, now we want to run. I feel like I can accelerate at 4 feet per second squared.
Okay, so as we're saying this, can I just think about this for a minute? So that means that every second you're going 4 feet per second faster than you were the second.
Yes.
4.
Exactly.
Okay.
So as every second passes, okay, my velocity increases by 4 feet per second.
Okay.
Okay? So after 5 seconds, my velocity is increased how much?
20.
20 feet per second. So when we convert this, we want to convert this to miles per hour squared.
Whoa.
Whoa. Big deal.
I have no idea how to start.
No idea how to start?
No, other than the 4 and that long line with the table. I don't know where to go from there.
Don't know where to go?
No.
Well, the good part about this is it's the exact same as every other one that we've done. Okay, you start with your long line. And then what you do is you put what you know, which is 4 feet on top. You put your 4 feet on top, and you put your 1 second squared on bottom. Okay? Mrs.
Okay.
Knudsen, this looks kind of challenging, doesn't it?
It does.
Really challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just going to tell you that it's really no different than what we've done.
Okay. But it is because there's that 2 there.
That 2, but that 2 just means that there's 2 of them.
Okay.
Just 2 of them. So when we do it, anything we do, we just have to do it twice.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
Simple, right?
Uh-huh.
So let's start out with feet, because we always start with feet.
Okay, and we're going to, did you say miles?
Miles.
Okay.
Yep.
So I know that on top we're going to put 1 mile, and on bottom we're going to put 5,280 feet, because we did that before.
Yep, 5,280 feet. And then the feet cancel, and we're left with miles per second squared.
But
Worth-
we need hours squared.
But we need hours squared, and that's where it gets tricky, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just think about this. If we know a second squared is just 2 S's,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then we just need 2 hours.
Right.
Okay? So what we have to do is we just have to do it twice.
Okay. So in 1 hour there's 3,600 seconds.
3,600 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we put that down there. And we put 1 hour on the bottom. And when you look at this, oh, S cancels this one of the S's. So we can get rid of our 2. And all we got left
Is some wacky label called miles per hour times seconds.
Yep, some really wacky label. Miles
Wacky
per
label.
hour times seconds. Okay? But now we know, okay, we got rid of 1 S. If we do the same thing, we should get rid of the other, right?
You're right. That makes sense. Let's try it again.
Let's do it again. So we put 3,600 on top. Extend our little line. Put 1 hour on bottom. And voila, we get rid of a second. And we get rid of a second.
And look, now we're miles per hour squared.
Miles per hour squared. Now, why would this be squared, Mrs. Knudsen?
Because an hour times an hour is an hour squared. It's
Hour-
not 2 hours, it's an hour squared.
Hour squared. Now, how do we go about putting this in the calculator?
Okay, so I'm going to take 4 times 1 times 3,600 times 3,600.
Okay.
Just because I'm kind of old school and I'm not going to use that square button.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm going to divide by 1, divide by 5,280, divide by 1, divide by 1.
Yep. I ended up with 9,818 miles per hour squared.